March 9th, 2015, popular Disney Channel show Gravity Falls is approaching its mid-season finale. At this point, the show had taken a turn from an episodic comedy about two twin siblings solving mysteries in a small mountain town to something much deeper. The fans were asking questions and making theories, but two questions towered above them all. Who is the author of the journals, and why does Stan want to open a portal to another dimension? As the fans sat on the edges of their seats, watching as the author of the journals emerged from the portal of Stan's creation, the fans were shocked to find that the author of the journals was Stanford Pines, the twin brother of Stanley Pines. This is considered to be one of the greatest twists in children's television, and with good reason. You know it's a good twist when you have fans debating its validity before it even happens. This episode was a turning point for Gravity Falls. It's the episode that led to Gravity Falls being considered the golden standard of children's television, being held in the same breath as Regular Show, Adventure Time, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. This, of course, is because of foreshadowing. The twist had been hinted at over the course of the entire series, and in hindsight, many longtime fans questioned how they didn't see it coming. This one mystery, as well as the final story arc of the series immediately following it, immortalized Alex Hirsch's magnum opus and allowed for Gravity Falls to live in the hearts of many forever. Foreshadowing is a skill that needs to be mastered. It's not as simple as dialogue. The thing that makes foreshadowing a challenge for many creators is the finesse that comes with a good twist, and the ability to leave the audience satisfied. In this video, we will go over the art of foreshadowing and how you can implement it into your work, giving your worlds and characters a living, breathing quality, and rewarding your audience for paying attention. Actually, let's start there. Rewarding your audience. The purpose of foreshadowing in the first place is giving your story, novel, or otherwise a sense of rereadability. There are a lot of cut and dry narratives in the world that are only ever truly fun because you don't really know what to expect next. Now, this is amazing in its own right, but if it's not magnificent in the eyes of some, the average viewer isn't exactly coming back for round 2. Foreshadowing, on the other hand, can make consuming a story a second time a completely different experience from the first. You know things that the characters don't. Weird scenes that felt out of place now make perfect sense, and the work as a whole has a greater sense of clarity, making you feel rewarded for catching things you didn't see the first time around. Rewatching Gravity Falls and knowing everything that happens is a rewarding experience. You notice the small things, the minor details that at one point would just blend into the background. And now you know these things are signs of what's to come, making them just as much a part of the show as the things that are happening in the foreground. When foreshadowing, you are expressing to your audience that saw your story through to the end that you care about what you're making. There's an attention to detail, a passion for your creation that doesn't just extend to the narrative of A to B, but also of A to Z. Your audience will pick up on the fact that they should be paying attention if they want to get the most out of your story. They'll understand that your work isn't brainless, but instead has a large amount of thought put into it, thus encouraging analysis, engagement, and personal creativity from your audience, with things such as theory crafting and AUs for people who like things like that. Of course, none of this would happen if your twist is just bad, which is why, when foreshadowing, it would greatly benefit you to pay attention to your execution. Tell me, what makes a good twist? Is it the amount of paperwork you have to do to understand it? Is it the element of surprise? No, that's not it at all. Returning to Gravity Falls for the third time, it does the exact opposite of all of these things. The thing that makes the reveal of the author in Gravity Falls work is the fact that the majority of the clues regarding Stanford's identity is within the show itself. Pictures, the mention of the name Stanley, even if he was going by Ford at the time. All of this is leading up to the big reveal. It's all small, and you could appreciate the twist without knowing all of these things, but the attention to detail makes you appreciate it that much more. The twist is surprising in the moment, but in hindsight, the element of surprise is lost, replaced with this feeling of respect for the writers who actually managed to pull it off, all while keeping people in the dark. Surprise that remains long after the twist is revealed stops being surprise and becomes confusion. If a twist leaves your audience confused, it's a bad twist, full stop. My point is, the forward reveal works because it's not surprising and because it's not complex. When writing twists, we often push forward with this idea of deeper equals better, when in reality, it's the polar opposite. When attempting to execute a twist, your best bet is to go with something simple, something that people could guess given the small clues in your series without having to do Batman levels of detective work. A good twist happens right under the nose of the reader, not 100 miles away where you can barely see it. Your audience guessing your twist before it happens is not a failure of you as a writer. It's a sign your audience gives a shit, and you should reward them for giving a shit by going through with your original vision. Though, even with the best plot twist known to man, being farsighted can still sell your story short. What's the point of having a good twist if the plot preceding it is horrible? Looking forward has never been a bad thing, but sometimes you can get so consumed by the future that you forget to look at what's in front of you. You forget that the beginning of your narrative has to be good too. There's something whimsical about not having all of the answers, about not knowing where you're going to end up or what you have to do to get there. You need to embrace the beginning of your story because otherwise you'll have built up an audience that doesn't care, and your plot twist will fall flat. The beginning of your narrative should be spent establishing the questions that your plot twist answers. This is why I recommend at least planning the beginning and endings of your stories before you write them. That way, the progression can feel natural, and you can have more freedom to structure it however you want without writing yourself into a corner. A beginning lacking in the fun of finding mysteries will be robbed of the fun of solving them. Foreshadowing matters, but it doesn't matter as much as the story itself. A good twist should serve as a bookend that enhances an already good narrative, not make a shit one barely average. Show care to every aspect of your work so that you can build an audience to consume and appreciate your plot twist. Only then can you truly say you've mastered foreshadowing. My name is John Sage, and thanks for watching. Hi there, it is Editing Room John once more, and as always, I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this rather short video. This video is on the shorter side, and while I'm not entirely happy about that, I did try to work with what little I was able to get out of it, and so I hope that I came up with something fairly, I guess, watchable. For those of you who do genuinely look forward to listening to me yap in your ear at the end of every video, I would like to thank you as well. This video was pretty easy to make. It definitely didn't take a lot of energy, but I will say that my motivation has been a little bit iffy recently, primarily because I am approaching the end of my novel. I'm writing the closing chapters of that currently, and with that comes a very bittersweet feeling. But of course, you got to keep your head up. Projects end, that's what you make them to do, essentially. And I am definitely planning on dedicating more of myself to the YouTube grind once I have finished working on my novel. So yeah, for those of you who watched this video to the end, however short it may have been, thank you for watching. It's always a pleasure to have you. If you could drop a like and subscribe, that would also help the channel out. Channel out tremendously. I don't edit these sections, by the way. And yeah, my name is John Sage. Thanks for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out.